Salutations, seekers of wisdom. Welcome back to your beloved haven of intriguing information, Top 10 Den. Today we embark on a journey, a safari if you will, not through a scenic landscape filled with charismatic creatures, but through a list of critters that are a little too charismatic for their own good. We're talking about invasive animal species. They might look harmless or even captivating, but their impacts on local ecosystems can be catastrophic. Let's deep dive into the top 10 most infamous invasive animals and the havoc they wreak. Get ready for a wild, unwelcome ride. Setting sail on our invasive adventure at number 10, we find ourselves in the company of the vibrant yet voracious lionfish. Hailing originally from the warm waters of the Indo-Pacific, these striking fish are now found brazenly strutting their stuff in the Atlantic Ocean. With their venomous spines and insatiable appetite, they've turned coral reefs into their personal buffet, decimating local fish populations. Their flamboyant stripes might suggest they're always party-ready, but in reality, it's a clear sign for potential predators to keep their distance. At number 9, we encounter a critter that's causing nightmares for homeowners and ecologists alike, the Formosan subterranean termite. Although they're natives of East Asia, they have managed to hitch rides around the globe. Their menu, any cellulose-based structure they can sink their mandibles into. From buildings to trees, these voracious invaders are like a demolition crew on overdrive. A single colony can number in the millions, making their destructive power a force to be reckoned with. Sliding into 8th place with an ominous hiss is the Burmese python. These sizable serpents originally called the tropics of Southeast Asia home. However, Florida's Everglades is now their stomping, or rather slithering ground. Thanks to irresponsible pet owners releasing these giant snakes into the wild, they've decimated the local wildlife, including endangered species. You know what they say, an apple a day keeps the doctor away, but apparently nobody told the python that it doesn't apply to consuming endangered species. Hopping into the 7th spot is the notorious cane toad. Brought all the way from Central and South America to Australia, these toxic toads were supposed to be the heroes of the sugarcane fields, controlling destructive beetles. Instead, they've become one of Australia's most damaging invasive species. Eating everything they can fit in their mouths and breeding like there's no tomorrow, their impact has been anything but sweet. Sailing into 6th place, we meet the zebra mussel. Named after their black and white striped shells, these mollusks are the bane of freshwater bodies. They breed rapidly and adhere to all types of surfaces, clogging up pipes and machinery. They're a bit like the uninvited house guest who not only uses all your shampoo, but also clogs up your plumbing. Breaking the surface at number 5 is the Asian carp. These fish were initially invited guests, brought to the southern United States to keep aquaculture ponds clean. But, like that friend who was supposed to crash on your couch for just a couple of days, they've overstayed their welcome. They've outcompeted native species for food and habitat, turning local ecosystems on their heads. Climbing to number 4, we meet the infamous brown tree snake. After stowing away on military transports from Papua New Guinea to Guam during World War II, these snakes have been the culprits behind most of the island's bird species extinctions. If there was ever a wrong way to go birdwatching, these snakes have nailed it. In the 3rd spot, we find the seemingly harmless grey squirrel. Cute and fluffy, right? Not if you're a red squirrel in the United Kingdom. Imported from North America, grey squirrels have been aggressively pushing their red cousins towards extinction. They're like the overbearing neighbours who take over the whole block, one garden at a time. Silver spot at number 2 belongs to the Argentine ant. Despite their minuscule size, these ants pose a giant problem. With their super colonies stretching for thousands of miles, they've invaded every continent except Antarctica. Seems like even these ants draw the line at Parker weather. And finally, taking the top spot on our invasive rogues gallery are the feral pigs. Introduced by early settlers to the Americas for food, these tusked troublemakers are now rampaging across the United States, causing massive ecological damage and economic losses. Looks like the 3 little pigs had the right idea about the destructive potential of their wild cousins. So there you have it, dear watchers, our tour of the most notorious invaders in the animal kingdom. They're proof that the phrase, "When in Rome, do as the Romans do," doesn't always apply, especially when it leads to ecological imbalances. If you found this journey enlightening, go ahead and smash that like button. Have you encountered any of these invasive species in your neighborhood? Or do you have an invasive species story of your own to share? The comments section is waiting for your tales. Remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated with all the mesmerizing content from Top 10 Den. Even the Argentine ant knows the more, the merrier. Until next time, keep your minds open, your spirits curious, and your enthusiasm for knowledge alive.